And in this 7th and final episode in this series, don't worry, there's going to be more, we are going to be talking about hacking, and I don't mean coughing. We are going to be talking about life hacks and how we can be looking for different shortcuts to make things more efficient and smooth in different areas of our physical life. We've talked a little bit about that in our mental life. If you didn't catch episode 5, go back and listen to that and how we talk about the mental tornado and overwhelm. We dig into that there. But here we're going to talk about actual physical life hacks and how we can make things smoother in our worlds. I think as we look at intentional living and having our all and getting things in order and getting our life together, like all the things that we've talked about over the last couple of episodes, we need to be open to new ways of thinking. We need to be open to new ways of doing things. We need to take a hard look at what we can do differently to make things better. And that's what we're going to kind of dig into today, a little bit at the high level, but also at the practical level. We're going to also look at how we can get our people on board with our new ways and what that looks like. You know, teaching and training our kids and our teens takes a lot of time and a lot of patience, both for ourselves and for them. But I think it's really important that we all together cultivate habits and systems, almost, if you will, and hacks to make things flow smoother and easier. And one of the things that I think we need to do a little bit more often and be intentional with is simplifying. We need to look at what needs to be removed entirely from our lives. I'll share a couple of examples in a minute. We need to look at maybe some things that could be updated or adjusted or changed to make things go smoother. I think that this efficiency thing, this smoothness, this importance for function is really a part of my personality because I'm motivated to kind of keep things in order. But I've also learned a lot about this through different hacking, if you will, like just life hacking, if you will. And I think I want to share a little bit more about that with you as well. I want to share some examples from the distant past as well as the recent past of things, just hacks that I've done just to make things smoother and easier, because when things are easy, then we can focus on other things, or when things are almost automated, if you will, we can focus on other things. So here's a perfect example. I lived in the Dominican Republic for 6 years in my 20s. The water there is not potable, which means we couldn't drink from the tap. And I chose not to brush my teeth with the tap water. There are some people there who do that. I chose not to because I just wanted to reduce my risk of getting some sort of illness. And so I chose not to brush my teeth. Well, we would have to buy these jugs of water. It was just, part of our budget and our plan. But there was a jug of water that lived in the kitchen. And so I would walk with my toothbrush and the toothpaste into the kitchen, get it wet, walk back in. I think I had a cup of water maybe that I would rinse with, and then whatever. It was this process. It was this irksome thing that I had to go from the bathroom across the house to the kitchen to get the clean water that I could use to brush my teeth. And after that irking me enough over time, I finally broke down and purchased, it didn't cost too much, but we were also living on a very small salary in another country. I purchased a tiny little water cooler, a little bit bigger than a jug, but not a giant 5-gallon one. And I kept that in our bathroom. So I could basically just get water, finish brushing my teeth. The cup was right there. The clean water was right there. And just doing that one simple thing made such a difference in what I was saying in my head. Like all of a sudden that wasn't irksome anymore. That's just a quick example from the distant, many years ago that I chose to do that. I spent money on this little tiny thing to eliminate this particular annoyance. Do you always have to spend money? Not necessarily. Sometimes, yes, but it was doing small, simple things like that improved not only the efficiency of my morning, it saved me time, but I think it just helped cut out that annoying story I was telling myself every day. So that's one example. Another example about our kids' uniforms. They go to a charter school and therefore they wear uniforms. And I've talked a little bit about our shoe baskets in past episodes, but I want to bring that back up because we have school shoes, uniform shoes and belts that go in one basket, and we have tennis shoes that go in another basket. And furthermore, One of the smartest things that I have done as a mother, I mean, I've done a few smart things, but one of the smartest is that I put all of the kids' uniforms into a single closet. I actually took everything out of it. It's a small little, it is a walk-in, but it's pretty small closet. And this section is kid 1, this section is kid 2, this section is kid 3, this section is kid 4. And by doing that, I created an extremely smooth and efficient morning routine for the boys. They almost kind of go in there one by one, just naturally by the way that they wake up and, whatnot. They go in there one by one, they get what they need. If one kid is having a particularly challenging time getting out of bed, waking up on the wrong side of the bed kind of morning, one of us might go in and get their uniform and help them. But what it's done is it's put everything into one place. And it's easy to keep track of the wear, wash, put back in the closet, wear, wash, put back in the closet. So that's easier for the laundry maintenance side of it. But then it's also really easy for everybody knows where everything is, and there's no other distractions in that closet. The only thing in that closet is their uniforms. And what we've found with having them in their drawers and in their other closets in their bedrooms was that they would just kind of get lost in the shuffle of all the other clothing that they have. And the socks, the shorts, the pants, it would just kind of got lost. But by pulling everything together and putting it into that one closet has made a dramatic difference, both on the laundry side of things and on the, I can't find my, yeah, that doesn't happen. It just does, rarely. I mean, it does happen on occasion, but it doesn't happen. And that smoothness and that efficiency and that kind of, that hack has paid itself back over and over and over and over. The half an hour I spent redoing that closet has paid itself back in many, many, many times over. So it's just a couple of quick examples of, there's things that irk us. In the case of the water going to the kitchen, like it wasn't that far away, but it really bothered me. And the uniforms, that really bothered me, that things were everywhere and nobody could find anything. And where are my socks? And why aren't they here? And they're supposed to be there, but they're not. Blah. I don't have the mental capacity. I would much rather put all the uniforms in one closet and focus on other things, whatever those other things might be that are happening in my day, my life that particular week. So that second example is a perfect example, the uniforms in their own closet is a perfect example of how this efficiency affects our entire family. It's improved our family dynamics. And I think that there are other hacks and things that we need to do to improve the efficiency within our family. And most of these things actually involve the training of our little people, if you will. And so I'll use some more examples. One of the things that we are not great at, let me rephrase that. The boys in my house are not great at. All the boys in my house, maybe not the dog, but the rest of the boys, including my husband, just kidding, not really. So one of the things that they're not great at, and I have not done a good job of training them, although we are now, is rinsing out their bowls and dishes. Oh my gosh, why? It's like, do they not think about it? Is it just a detail that they not need to know? Do I need to just let them get after it with a scrub brush after the cereal flakes have been all caked on the bowl? I mean, yeah, probably I could do that. Actually, maybe I will. But really, what we've done is we take kind of one of these things that irks me or my husband, because there are things I do that irk him and whatever, because we have to work together as a family. And also these are just good habits things too, right? Like it's a good habit to rinse out your bowl. Bonus habit if you actually then put it in the dishwasher after you've rinsed it out, right? So, but we're doing these, we're making these improvements kind of one at a time, because when you try to do it all at once, you're kind of setting everybody up for failure. You're setting everybody up for getting mad at each other because you've set this expectation. We've gone over all this already. We've got to fix all this, blah, blah, blah. No, we're rinsing out bowls. Until we master rinsing out bowls, I'm getting real soapboxy here, but until we master rinsing out bowls, we're not going to move on to the next thing. I'm going to tell you what the next thing is. I already know it. hanging up your towels, please. As soon as we master rinsing out our cereal bowls and rinsing off our plates and whatnot, we're pretty good about clearing up after dinner. I'm talking about after breakfast or after a snack, because whose kid eats cereal after school every day? Mine. Most of them do. That's what I'm talking about. It takes time and it takes patience. They're learning. You're learning. They're learning what you want them to do, right? They're learning how we all function together as a family. I think these are important life skills. They're important habits, because hopefully they'll learn to do this when they're older, or they'll figure out real quick that food gets nasty when it's caked on after you don't rinse things off, right? They'll figure it out. But I'm trying to teach this now. The towels is a fantastic example. What happens if you leave a wet towel on wood? It's not good. If it's a piece of wood furniture, if it's a wood floor, like, it can discolor it, it can stain it, it can ruin the wood. That's not something they can't afford to buy themselves a new dresser. They can't afford to replace the floor in their room, right? The carpet will start to get mildewy, right? If they drop their towels in the same place every day, whatever. So that's too much of a consequence, I feel like, for a 10-year-old, right? But it takes time. It takes a lot of reminders. How long does it take for an action to become a habit? Say 21 days, I think. They say 21 days. That's a long time to patiently remind your people to rinse out their bowls. It's going to take longer than 21 days. But at some point, it's going to click. It's starting to click. One of the kids, it's clicked already. It'll start to click for the others. Just remind, just remind, just remind. And I know for me personally, I have to really try hard not to really remind them that they need to rinse out their bowl because they forgot again, right? But this is the family hacking together, right? Like, how can we do this together? How can we be more efficient? Because when we rinse out our dishes right in the moment before they get all gross, it's a good hack right there, right? Before we ruin our furniture and our floors with wet towels, hang them up. They'll get smelly too. Eesh. I already deal with enough smell in my house. I'm not dealing with smelly towels. Okay, I think we got that figured out with the efficiency and the hacking with our family, and how we can work together and how it takes time and patience to do that. What about efficiency in my day? I'm like the queen of efficiency, so I'm just going to share a couple of examples with you about how efficiency kind of works in my day. So apart from the dishes and the towels, there's also laundry in my home. And you know, I live with 4 boys, 2 of whom are in they need deodorant phase of life, and they're real smelly. And even the younger boys, after they've been running around in the park or playing basketball or running around in the cul-de-sac with our neighbors and stuff, it's just gross. Their clothes just smell. And I don't want my house to smell like a locker room. So several years ago, I started, and they help, we bring our laundry to the laundry room every day. We don't have any hampers. Hampers are gone. Baskets, whatever. However you hold your dirty laundry, all of that is no more at my house. Everything we do have laundry baskets, but they don't have clothes sitting in them for days and days. We run the laundry every single day, mostly a dark load, sometimes maybe the whites every other day, and then towels and sheets, about once a week, every 2 weeks, depending on when we need to do those. So really, we run a load of laundry every day. But by pulling all the clothes down, it's helped with the smell. But what it's really done is it's created this really smooth kind of laundry system. Like, we just do it every day. The kids bring their clothes down every day. Nobody fusses about it. Nobody complains about it. Everybody likes their clean, good smelling clothes, right? So it's just become this sort of routine. And I started it, and now everybody's involved. But it was one of those things that I didn't want things to smell, and I needed laundry to be easier. And so that's how we have reworked it to work for our family. I have a friend who has laundry on certain days for her kids. And so every Monday, kid 1 does their laundry. Every Tuesday, kid 2 does their laundry. And so they kind of go on a 4-day rotation, and then she mixes her own in there just depending on her schedule. And so there's different ways that you can do it, but I would challenge you to think about how you can do, in this case, laundry, dishes, towels, like whatever that thing is that you need to do better with and do more efficiently, coming up with a way that's going to work for your family. How about the kitchen? I love a clean kitchen, not clean, because like there are lots of parts of my kitchen that I could probably clean a little better, but like specifically I like it decluttered. I have certain things on the countertops that I really just love being there. It's almost like if I'm not an artist, I could not draw you a stick figure that was cute. Not gonna happen. But it's almost like it's like a canvas or a blank slate, if you will, where like it's kind of like my home and my domain where I want to just come into the kitchen where everything's nice and decluttered and I get to make a mess cooking, because I love to cook. I love to feed my people, but I also like for it to be decluttered. And so we have our own way of keeping it that way, with the kids helping with dinner, with the kids helping with dishes and after dinner cleanup and all that stuff. And then I'm the last in there. I'm usually the last one to buzz through and make sure everything is in its spot, so that when the next morning rolls around, I can just come in and it's like this happy little domain where I get to cook meals for my family. But that's something that I've created. I've cleared the counters. I've made sure that everybody's doing their job, their chores, and I come through and make sure that it's exactly how I want it at the end of the evening, so that it's all ready to go for the next morning. Speaking of cooking and food, one of the other life hacks that I want to share with you is make ahead meals, freezer meals. If you don't know me, I'm like the freezer meals queen. We have an entire freezer cooking program that is designed to help make dinner easier and smoother. It's like the ultimate dinner hack, okay? So it's all about being a step ahead, being prepared, and having dinner on backup and available for you when you need it. And I talked a lot more about this in episodes 3 and 4 of this first series. So you can go back and listen to those, where we talk about how meal planning fits with your schedule and your energy and your mood and all of those things. Freezer meals are a huge part of making dinner easier for us because, and we've talked about this before, I want that time together as a family to be a sweet time, to be a pleasant time, to be a fun time, to be a deep time. Like all of that time we get to spend together connecting as a family is super important. And so I need all these other things to be easy. I need laundry to be easy. I need dinner to be easy. I need hanging up towels to be easy. All these things need to be working smoothly, so that then I can better prioritize all the other things that we have in your life. Are you seeing the theme here? Are you seeing, as you've listened to the different episodes, again, if you haven't listened, go back and listen to the other ones. This will all flow together, I promise. This was by design, okay? So I want things to be easier and smoother and more efficient for you in your day-to-day life. I share all of these just kind of random practical examples to help you get an idea. You're probably already thinking of some of like, what can you hack? What can you do differently? What can you remove? What can you adjust to make everything just kind of flow more smoothly in your day? Let's close this out with our think, feel, take action. We do this in every episode, so I want you to think about one thing that's irking you. What is bothering you in your day-to-day? Let's get real specific. So either it's like I had to go to the kitchen to brush my teeth back when I lived in the Dominican Republic, or like it really irks me that the kids leave towels on the ground. How can I work with them to make that a new habit, that's not happening anymore? We don't run the risk of ruining floors and furniture and whatnot. So think about that one thing that's irking you, and then when we get to the take action part, we'll take action on that. The feeling is we want smooth operation. Smooth operator right now. I'm not gonna sing. I won't draw and I won't sing. I can't do either of those things. But I want things to feel efficient. Not feel efficient, be efficient. We want them to be efficient. We're gonna take action on that irking thing. We want them to feel efficient. We want things to feel smooth as you move through your day-to-day. And last, taking action. What is something that you can do about that thing that's irking you? You know, I moved the entire uniform closet. Like I moved all of them into one closet. Like that's a pretty big move. But what's one small thing you can do to help that irksome thing go on? Bonus points if it doesn't cost you any money. But if you need to, buy a little cooler or buy a box or buy a bin or whatever, go ahead and do that. Because if it's going to help your sanity, it's probably worth that $10 for the basket or whatever it is that you might need to make this kind of irksome thing disappear. Where do you write all this out? I know if you haven't yet, you can download the worksheets for all of the episodes here in this first series at erinchase.io/podcast. You can download the worksheets that accompany each one of the episodes, and you can write out these things. It's almost like your homework, but I do think it's important to write them out because it'll help you process it, and it'll help you increase the likelihood that you'll take action in making a difference, seeing the results in your life that you are looking for to make things smoother and easier in this case, and overall to help you on your intentional living journey. Lastly, I would love for you to subscribe to the Erin Chase Show. If you're watching on YouTube, just hit the little subscribe button down below. If you are listening in your podcast player, just tap subscribe. This is the last episode in this first series, but there will be more. So you'll want to subscribe so you get updates when we release new episodes in the next series. Also, please leave a comment or rate and review the podcast in your podcast player. We love hearing your feedback. We love reading your comments. We want to make this show better for you. It's going to help us bring new ideas and new episodes to you. And it also helps other people find the show. So that's it for this final episode in this first series, my friend. It's bye for now, and we will talk again soon.